This is my 13.4 PowerPoint. So firstly, Sportivate. This is an initiative targeted at semi-sporty people, so aged 14 to 25 years old, who are interested in taking part in sport if they feel that it's right for them. So they feel like they want to take part in the sport and don't feel pressured into it. The initiative requires the participants to take part in 1 to 2 hours of activities such as judo, golf, tennis, wakeboarding, athletics, or parkour and free running. They need to do this over 8 weeks, and Sport of 8 also targets youth offenders and those with poor socio-economic backgrounds, as the initiative is cheap at a price of £1 to £2, or it can be free for some sports. It's cheap due to how it is lottery funded. So this is scenario one for Sport of 8. So there's John, age 13, lives in Hastings, relatively low socio-economic background, doesn't really enjoy school team sports, and loves wakeboarding, but he can't afford to go on any holidays. So his barriers are to not participate is how John faces the barriers, how he's from this poor socio-economic background, and he can't really afford to play the sport he loves, wakeboarding, as boards can cost up to £400. And due to him having low money, he isn't able to take annual holidays where he may be able to go to places such as like Newquay, where water sports are popular, and he could probably rent a wakeboard for a little bit cheaper, as it is the best place in England, Newquay, to go surf or wakeboard. He may also struggle to participate in some sports that Sport of 8 offer due to how he doesn't like playing team sports like football or rugby with others, which are quite popular. And John found that he didn't enjoy team sports at school, which may suggest how he didn't have any opportunities to do wakeboarding at school. So he had to stick to the team sports, which he disliked. So to help John, Sport of 8 can help him as it's cheap. He's from a poor socioeconomic background, so he can participate, and Sport of 8 will allow for him to take part in wakeboarding. It'll only be cheap, £1 to £2 maybe for him to wakeboard, which is pretty good. And if he couldn't afford to do the sport he loved, it would mean that he'd be uninterested in taking part in any other sports. Maybe he might be disheartened to participate in any sports, and he may get bored and be inclined to become more mischievous, maybe outside of sport. However, if John struggles to be able to participate in wakeboarding often, he could try maybe a new sport similar to wakeboarding, like skateboarding, so he can play more, and Sport of 8 could show him how to skate and stuff. He could also be encouraged to play team sports with maybe people who also didn't enjoy it, so that he's with like people in the same boat as him, same personality, and they could be more likely to get on, and he may end up enjoying team sports. And so an evaluation of Sport of 8, its benefits are that it's no cost, so people from low or socioeconomic backgrounds can participate in sports they like. It will increase sports and access, so yeah, they find new interests, so such as John maybe finding that he likes skateboarding instead of wakeboarding, and new facilities, so again could increase the amount of different sports that are played, new facilities, new interests. But their limitations are the sustainability of it, because it's quite cheap. They need a certain amount of people to participate, otherwise they won't get the income enough to keep affording, because the wakeboards are £400, and yeah. So also they struggle to attract physically active levels, so people who are already participating, they don't really attract them kind of people. And the next initiative is Project 500, and this is aimed to help the imbalance of gender in sport, specifically in coaching. This is it, as in modern day football, it is seen that there are many male coaches, and this may be too many compared to how many females there are. Even in the women's game, there's not many female coaches. There's like 2 out of 8 teams in the top English league. And this suggests from research from Sports Coach UK that shows just 30% of sports coaches are female. So Project 500 is to encourage females of any age to start coaching, and in the initial 2 years of the project it managed to recruit 530 female coaches, and this may prove vital in getting more females involved in coaching, which could also prove important to get more girls participating in the sport, not just coaching. They may feel comfortable being coached under a female, which will be seen later on. And scenario 2 is about Louise, who is a talented footballer. She's completed her CSL, loves coaching others, but her teacher doesn't really like her coaching younger male or female school teams, and he gives it to the boys instead. So the barriers that Louise faces are how her teacher isn't, of course, allowing her to coach any classes, including the female classes, and this may be due to how he is maybe sexist or stereotypical towards her, because there aren't many female coaches out there, and he may not have faith that they could do the right job. Maybe he doesn't feel that. He feels the boys could maybe do a better job, and this could make Louise feel unwanted and unskilled in the sport, and she may feel useless due to how her own teacher doesn't want her to coach at all, and this may lead her astray from the sport altogether, and she may feel bettered and defeated by the boys at a school, and this may put her off coaching full stop. And this may be a problem as girls teams may rather have a female coach them, as they may feel more comfortable, and this may increase their performance as well as their participation levels. And another barrier linked to this is how there aren't many female coaches out there, so males see that women maybe aren't as capable of coaching, especially in male football. Like there isn't any professional women's coaches at the moment in the men's game. So evaluation of Project 500, the benefits of this: it helps equality, gets even numbers in coaching for boys and girls. Females can coach females, so if they feel comfortable, this could really help them out. However, potential limitations is how they could be put off, but as they can only do coaching, maybe they want to do something else instead of coach. It's not just football as well, like I guess tennis or whatever they want to coach, and then Project 500 will allow many sports, and is not an international project, so only in the UK will this help. It won't help like different leagues around the world increase their equality in females and men, which would be a shame. But to help Louise, Project 500 can help her, as it will allow for her to get involved in coaching, and she may be able to coach other females. This will help them feel more comfortable and they can perform at their best. It may also inspire more girls to get involved in coaching, as they'll see others enjoying it, and those who may not physically capable to play, they could coach instead, and this widens participation. Getting more women involved due to Project 500 will also mean that equality in sports, especially light football, becomes better, and this of course widens participation again and ethics in sport. Also, Louise being a female coach may be what female teams want, and Project 500 can help Louise pursue that, as if females prefer to be coached by another female, then this could widen participation again. So this is the third initiative, School Sport Games. It's the outcome of a national governing body coming together, like all of them, quite a few, coming together to create a larger event competition in school sports for ages 7 to 14 years. So they wanted to create more competition in schools. School Sports Games has created 4 levels of competition in the school, so that it suits different kids' abilities. So you have level 1, where participants may not like the higher levels, which consist of more competition and more tension and higher skill leveled, and they may start at that level, and it's only in school competition, level 1, so they compete between friends, and this competition may not be too high, and they may muck around and not take it serious, but it's important, like they get more involved, and there is still a competitive edge. Some may take it differently than others. Some may enjoy the competition and really thrive and maybe want to beat their friends, but others might not. And level 2 makes for more serious competition, as schools compete against each other and this can create like a good competition and a favourable atmosphere. And this is due to how the kids may have friends at other schools and they want to prove that their team is better and that they're better. And they can also like play for like trophies and like school cups and stuff like that. Kids may not like this level though, and they might want to stay at level 1 due to how it may attract like attention from parents who want to watch, and this may add more pressure. Some kids can't handle that, and they may crack and like really get stressed by it all, and this could actually see them step away from sport and not enjoy it at all, and they may choose to not participate anymore. However, level 3 increases skill level to new high. Counties competing against each other, and this may be like cricket counties or footballing counties. But this is a higher skill level, as there is bigger choice of players, and the competition is bigger. So schools, you may have like you'll have a few schools in the county, and from all them schools, there's going to be only the best players able to play in the county, and they play against other counties, and this skill level could be really high. However, level 4 is quite a big step, and this is the elite level. This could be such as running long distance for England or the UK. And this is a big step up in competition due to how you'll be competing against the best in the world, and with the added pressure of running for the entire nation with your family and others, friends watching and really counting on you to do well. So that's quite a big step up. So the third scenario is about Sarah, who has a mobility impairment. She does not participate with her class in PE as much as she'd like, but she's determined and competitive by nature, but unfortunately isn't able to get into the school's netball team. So her barriers are, of course, how she has her mobility impairment, which makes participating in group invasion games or PE lessons difficult, as not everyone in her school will have this impairment. It'd be unlikely for her to have be able to play a big invasion game with people with the same problem as her. For example, she may not be able to take part in football or sprinting on the field, as she has this impairment, which may well mean she's on crutches or in a wheelchair. This could make her feel frustrated that she can't participate as much as she'd like. She'd be able to participate if the class all had wheelchairs and played wheelchair rugby or basketball. But unfortunately, not everyone has this impairment again to need a wheelchair, and schools can't afford to buy like 25 plus chairs. That'd be just unfortunately too expensive. Due to how she can't participate much, this means that she can't compete often enough to satisfy her competitive nature. This could be frustrating again, due to how she'd love to be in the school netball team. But it wouldn't be fair if she played, I guess, on her, because there'd be others who didn't have the impairment, so she can't really play unless she played against people with the same problem. So the evaluation of school sports games is how there's more enjoyment in competition, and more variety in activities. So like level 1 still has that competition. Sorry, so like if they want to stay at that level, they can, and it's still quite competitive. So no, the aim is still there. The more variety in activities means like more people can try different sports that they didn't like. So Sarah may actually find out at schools that school sport games shows her like an entirely different sport that she may like, maybe even an adapted version of netball, and it also like helps equality. So she may be able to play with others with this initiative. However, the limitation of this is how people dislike competition. Sarah isn't one of them, fortunately enough. And level 4 is a big step up. There's quite a big step up from any other levels. From even from level 3 to level 4 is still quite a big step. So I don't know. Scenario help is how school sports games could help Sarah compete more. They can create like competition in sports where she can participate despite her impairment. School sport games has organisers training to helping people with disabilities become more effectively engaged in the sports they love, and help create sports specifically suited to their needs. With organisers adapting sports to suit needs of their participants, This means that Sarah may be able to